Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're journeying into, well, a really ancient and complex topic, Hinduism. It's often, let's face it, oversimplified. So our mission today is to sift through the source material you've given us, pull out those key insights so you can really get a handle on it.
Sounds good.
And right away, something interesting pops up. Many Hindus don't actually call it Hinduism. They say Sanatana Dharma,
That's right.
which means something like the eternal law or eternal teaching. That alone suggests a pretty different worldview, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And eternal is really the perfect word, especially when you compare it to other major religions.
Also,
Well, our sources point out this fundamental split, circular versus linear views of time and existence.
okay.
So think Abrahamic traditions, usually a clear beginning, like creation and a definite end, maybe an apocalypse or final judgment. That's linear.
Right, a timeline.
Exactly. But Hinduism, it's circular. No real beginning, no final end, just eternal cycles.
Or an unending.
Pretty much. And that core idea, that existence just keeps going. Well, it colors everything else in the tradition. It's foundational.
Okay, that's a big concept to start with. So this circular idea, what does it actually mean for, life itself?
Yeah.
This leads us to samsara, yeah.
Spot on. Samsara.
What exactly is this eternal cycle the sources talk about?
So samsara is basically the cycle of rebirth, or you might know it as reincarnation.
Okay, rebirth.
But it's not just for people. The sources say it applies to, well, everything, even the universe itself. Galaxies are born, they live, they dissolve.
And then reform.
And then reform, yeah. Just like individual souls. It's this vast, continuous cosmic dance.
Wow, so if it's all just an endless cycle, what's the goal then? In those linear religions, the goal is often heaven or salvation. What about here?
Great question. The ultimate aim within this cycle is moksha.
Moksha.
Moksha means liberation. It's breaking free from samsara, escaping that endless loop of rebirths.
How do you do that?
Well, first you need to understand Atman. That's the individual soul, or the self, that lives inside each body.
The soul, right.
When a body dies, the Atman is released, free to find a new form, a new body.
And it keeps doing this.
It keeps doing this, life after life, until it achieves moksha. And moksha is when the Atman reunites with Brahman.
Brahman.
Brahman is the universal soul, the ultimate reality, the cosmic whole. So moksha is like the individual drop merging back into the ocean.
That makes sense. Merging the individual with the universal. But how does the Atman decide, or how is it decided what form it takes next? Is it random?
Not at all. There's a mechanism, a system of, as you put it, cosmic accountability.
Okay, what that?
That mechanism is karma.
Karma.
Yeah.
I think most people have heard of karma.
Probably, yeah. And the sources stress it's arguably the most crucial concept in, well, many Eastern religions, not just Hinduism.
So what is it exactly? Just what goes around comes around?
It's deeper than that. It's about your actions, sure, but also your thoughts, your intentions, your whole attitude in one life. And the really powerful thing about karma, according to the sources, isn't just you get what you deserve. It's that it puts the entire responsibility for your destiny onto you.
Wow, okay.
It's described as this eternal automatic law of karma. Always been there, always will be. Good karma, you get a better rebirth. Bad karma, a worse one.
Like a cosmic ledger book?
Kind of, yeah. Cause and effect. You know those sayings, as you sow, so shall you reap. Or as you make your bed, so you must lie in it. It's that principle, but on a cosmic, multi-life scale. It provides a really strong ethical guide for how to live this life because it directly shapes the next one.
Okay, so if karma determines your next life, what kinds of lives are considered good or bad rebirths within Hindu society? I guess this brings us to the caste system.
Exactly. They're very closely linked.
So what's the ideal rebirth, traditionally speaking?
Traditionally, the most desirable rebirth is into a high caste, especially Brahmin.
Priests and scholars, right?
Yes. Right. And conversely, being reborn as what's called a Dalit, an outcast, or even as certain types of animals, that's seen as much less desirable.
Animals. Really?
Yeah. Though there's a nuance, the sources mention some animals are actually seen as higher in the rebirth hierarchy than some humans. It's complex.
Huh. So tell us more about the main castes.
Okay, so the broad categories are called Varna. There are four main ones. Brahmins, like we said, Kshatriyas, who are warriors and rulers, Vaishyas, traditionally farmers, merchants, artisans, and Shudras, the serving caste.
Just four.
That's the basic framework, but then it gets way more complex. These Varnas break down into thousands of jati.
Jati.
Yeah, Jati. These are the specific birth groups you marry within, the ones that really shape day-to-day life, occupation, social interaction. And even these jati have subcastes. It's incredibly detailed.
And this system, the sources say, dictates everything.
Pretty much within traditional Hinduism, yeah. It all ties into your dharma.
Dharma means duty.
Duties, obligations, your path in life. And your dharma is largely set by your caste and also your gender.
Can you give an example?
Sure. The sources mention a warrior's dharma, a kshatriya's duty, might actually involve killing in battle. That's fulfilling their role. But for someone in another caste, killing would be absolutely wrong, generating bad karma.
Wow, that's specific. And what about the Dalits, the untouchables?
Right. So traditionally, Dalits perform jobs considered impure or unclean by others handling dead bodies, waste removal, things like that.
And social.
Historically, the system was incredibly rigid. You marry strictly within your own jati, often arranged marriages, and you absolutely cannot change your caste within your lifetime.
Your birth dictates it.
Your birth dictates it, and your birth is seen as the direct result of your karma from past lives. It's important to add, though, that the caste system is officially outlawed in modern India, but its social influence, especially in rural areas, can still be very strong.
It's a very structured view of society, deeply tied into karma and samsara. Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Yeah.
Beyond the social structure, there's the divine. And the sources mention, what was it, 330 million gods?
Haha. Yeah, that number gets quoted a lot.
How does anyone even wrap their head around that?
Well, first off, that 330 million isn't usually meant as, like, a literal count. It's more a way of saying an uncountable number.
Okay, infinite almost.
Kind of, yeah. It reflects the incredible diversity across India. Different villages, regions, families might have their own specific deities they honor. It's polytheistic or maybe pantheistic. It's complicated.
But amidst all that vastness, are there some main figures?
Definitely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, despite the millions, two gods really stand out as hugely important, Vishnu and Shiva.
Vishnu and Shiva. Tell us about Vishnu first.
Okay, Vishnu is the preserver. He maintains cosmic order. He's often known through his avatars.
Avatars, like incarnation.
Exactly. Forms he takes when he comes to Earth.
Wow.
The most famous are probably Krishna and Rama. And interestingly, some Hindus even see the Buddha as an avatar of Vishnu.
Really? Buddha.
Yep. And about 70% of Hindus, the Vaisnavas, primarily worship Vishnu or his avatars. Many see him as the supreme god, all-powerful, loving, compassionate.
Okay, the preserver. And Shiva. He sounds different.
He is very different. Shiva is both the creator and the destroyer.
Creator and destroyer. That seems like a contradiction.
It embodies that cyclical nature we talked about. Things must end for new things to begin.
Shiva represents that entire cosmic process. He's often symbolized by the lingam.
The lingam.
Yes. And while it resembles a phallus, its symbolism is much broader. It represents divine creative energy, the power that generates the universe. It's not just anatomical, it's about cosmic potential.
Got it.
And you also see sadhus, these holy men, often ascetics who renounce worldly life. Many dedicate themselves completely to Shiva.
And isn't there a very popular elephant-headed god?
Ah, yes, Ganesha. You can't forget Ganesha. He's Shiva's son.
Well, it's his role.
He's the remover of obstacles. Also the god of wisdom and learning. Students often pray to him. You pray to Ganesha when you're starting something new, a business, a journey, anything really. He's incredibly popular and very approachable, a universally loved figure.
Like a good luck charm, almost. In a way, yeah, but much more profound, of course.
Okay, so we have these core ideas, the major deities. What about daily practices or texts? It seems like there's a lot there too.
Oh, absolutely. There's puja, which is ritual worship. People might do it daily at a home shrine or visit a temple. And there's yoga.
Yoga, right.
Yeah.
Very well known globally.
Exactly. But it's much more than just physical postures. It's a deep spiritual discipline, a path to connect with the divine or understand the self.
And holy texts.
A vast library. You have the ancient Vedas, the absolute foundation, then the Upanishads, which are more philosophical, and incredibly important epics like the Bhagavad Gita, which is part of a larger epic, and the Ramayana. Each offers different stories, lessons, paths. They're living texts, not just history.
So many different elements. Now let's zoom in on a specific place mentioned in the sources. Varanasi. There's this idea that dying there is special.
It's very special. For many Hindus, dying in Varanasi is a deeply held aspiration.
Why? What's the belief?
The belief is that if you die in Varanasi, particularly with good karma, you achieve moksha immediately. Instant liberation from samsara.
Wow. Skipping the queue, so to speak.
Exactly. You bypass future rebirths. The city itself is one of India's oldest and holiest, and the connection to the divine feels, well, very intense there, especially along the Ganges River.
The Ganges, that's central too, right?
Absolutely central. The Ganges isn't just water. She's revered as a goddess, Gangama, Mother Ganges, life itself. You see constant rituals on the banks, including cremations like brenning, as one source called it. The ashes are often put into the river.
But the sources also mention something quite shocking about the Ganges. The pollution levels.
Yes, that's the stark contrast. While spiritually pure, the river itself contains incredibly high levels of bacteria. The source mentioned 1.5 million coliform bacteria per 100 milliliter.
And safe levels are.
Around 500 for bathing, maybe 10 for drinking, so it's drastically higher.
Yet people bathe in it, drink it.
They do. There's that story about the guide, Roy. He apparently took a big drink right from the river and just said, "It's all about faith, you know."
Wow. That really says something.
It does. It highlights this incredible power of faith, how for a devotee, spiritual belief can operate on a completely different plane from, say, scientific measurements or health warnings. It raises profound questions about belief and reality.
That story about Roy, yeah, it really sticks with you. And it highlights that diversity of belief, too. The sources use that Copenhagen analogy.
Yes, the how do you get to Copenhagen analogy.
They remind us.
It's like asking how to get to Copenhagen. You can take a train, car, bus, boat. You could even swim or fly. All are good ways.
If they get you there.
Exactly. And the point is, Hinduism sees spiritual paths similarly. There are many ways to approach the divine, many ways to seek moksha, and they're all considered valid if they lead you towards that ultimate goal.
So that whole question of, is it polytheism with all the gods?
It's complex. The answer is kind of yes, no, maybe, depending on the specific tradition or person you ask. It embraces that pluralism.
And this flexibility extends to ethics, too, like ahimsa.
Ahimsa, yes. The principle of nonviolence, or pacifism. It's a very important ideal in Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, too. Mahatma Gandhi is probably the most famous example of someone putting ahimsa into practice on a massive scale, using nonviolent resistance for social and political change. It shows these aren't just abstract ideas.
Right, they have real-world impact.
Yeah.
Okay, connecting this back to the bigger picture. Another really complex area mentioned is the role and status of women.
Yes, definitely complex.
The sources seem to present a contradiction. Women are the center of the family, but also face significant inequalities. How does that work?
It's very nuanced. Women have their own stridharma-specific duties, often distinct from men's, and their actual status varies hugely.
Depends on what?
So many things. Socioeconomic class makes a big difference. Age, marital status, whether they've had sons, even geography matters. Women in cities often have more autonomy than in rural villages, and generally, the situation is considered better in South India compared to the north.
What are the traditional duties?
Traditionally, the focus is often within the home, duty towards the husband, and especially bearing children, preferably sons. The sources mention that, sadly, failure to meet these expectations, especially around dowry, can sometimes have terrible consequences, like bride burning, though these are extreme and criminal acts.
Dowry is still a factor.
It is, yes. The bride's family often pays a significant amount, sometimes years of income, to the groom's family. It's illegal, but the practice persists.
And there was something about women needing protectors.
Yes, in more traditional or conservative views, a woman is seen as needing male protection throughout her life. First her father, then her husband, then her sons in old age.
But that can't be the whole story, surely.
No, it's not. The sources balance this by pointing to figures like Indira Gandhi, who was Prime Minister of India for a long time. Clearly, high achievement and leadership are possible.
Exceptions exist.
And more than exceptions, there's a whole major branch of Hinduism called Shaktism.
Shaktism.
Yes. In Shaktism, the ultimate divine power, Shakti, is seen as female. She is the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer of the universe. The great goddess, often called Devi, is supreme.
So a very powerful divine feminine.
Absolutely. It shows this powerful, revered female principle exists right alongside the more patriarchal structures within the broader Hindu tradition. It's another layer of complexity.
It really is an incredible tapestry. We've gone from the eternal cycles of samsara and karma, shaping fate, to the complex social map of caste, met gods like Vishnu, Shiva, Ganesha, visited sacred Varanasi and the Ganges, looked at practices, texts, and the really complicated place of women. It's just astonishingly diverse, ancient, and deeply philosophical, isn't it?
It truly is. And maybe this raises a final point for you, the listener, to think about.
Go on.
In our world, where people often crave simple answers, straightforward paths, what can we maybe learn or at least appreciate from a worldview that embraces this vast cyclical existence, one that offers so many different roads to liberation, even if those roads sometimes seem full of contradictions or demand such profound faith in the face of, well, other realities?
The challenging thought to end on. Embracing complexity and contradiction.
Yeah, something to ponder, perhaps.